12 years ago, for the first time, I made a presentation to CXOs, which also had a CEO of the company. I quickly realized that it wasn't a meeting as usual. Okay, there was a very different kind of energy and intensity in the room. No one had to tell me that there was no time to waste. Okay, it was very much obvious by the aura of that room. Okay, so thankfully my presentation went well. Okay, but I understood that working with senior professionals, executives, especially the senior management, isn't exactly like our typical meetings. Okay, as you grow in your career, you are offered more opportunities. You would interact with those higher ups. When you do that, you will notice that they operate at a very different level. Okay, so what is important to understand is that the way you handle your typical meetings with your peers or with the immediate bosses. Uh, and when you go and meet the CEO and CMO and CTOs of the company, you need to really change your mindset completely. Okay. In this video, I will give you one quick tip and probably the most important one to keep in mind while interacting with senior management, CXOs of the company. Okay. Like we all know that one of the basic rules of communication says that uh, to have the most meaningful conversation, you have to understand your audience. Okay, so senior management see across the whole organization and probably the industry and connect the dots from top to bottom. So to connect most effectively with them, uh, you need to understand how your subject of conversation fits into their worldview. Are you getting it right? So when you are talking about whatever, like you're about your project, about your client, just see that your conversation is exactly fitting their view of the world in which they are operating. Okay, so it is a little different. Like the perspective are a little different. So now let's take an example. Okay, let's say that you work with a difficult but significant customer. Okay, and you need to give an update about that customer to the senior management. Okay, so you are deeply involved in the day-to-day operations, like day-to-day detailing. For example, uh, when the projects, the phases of projects were delivered, whether they were delivered on time or they were a few days and weeks late here and there, and how many bugs and kind of bugs were reported. If there are some behavioral issues which you faced, depending upon the personalities of your team members and of your client, there could be many things which you would be aware of. But when you are speaking to an executive, you should not focus on the day-to-day issues or day-to-day, I would say nuances of account management. Instead, what you will have to do is you would just want to talk about the total revenue or any upsell and cross-sell happened in that account, the margin contribution, and your strategy to grow the business, okay, or to get the testimonial from the client. So, what I would suggest is that ask yourself a question. Look at the things from the lens of the CEO and think that what does the CEO want to know about this account, about this client, and then prepare a presentation according to that. It is not what you want to tell, just think what he wants to know or what she wants to know. Okay. So, the thing is that most of these senior management executives, they get to the point easily. Okay, and you need to be ready with all of your background data, day-to-day data in a very structured manner. But while presenting the data, you would not be going through the day-to-day issues there. Okay, you will be giving them the view they want, and whenever they need to ramp up the conversation or maybe like they want to drill it down further, you should be ready to give the data. Okay, and that way you would be saving their time and you will be conversing according to their need. Okay, on that note, also I would suggest that you anticipate the kind of questions they might ask you. Okay, and you prepare your responses beforehand. One of the biggest mistakes which I have seen in my career, that many people, they go for the presentation to the senior management, and they are ready with their presentation, but they are not ready with the kind of cross questions they might be facing. Okay, so and also the second part which I would like to mention here is that when CEO or CTO ask you a question, I see many people, they answer something different, like what is being asked. They assume something and start answering it. So my suggestion is that if you feel that the question is not very clear, with all politeness, you can just ask that, so sir, do you want to know, or if you take name, you can just say the first name, and you can say that, okay, Ajay, do you want to know that how I'm going to arrange the resources? Is it the question? So in that case, what is that? What you're doing is you are not wasting anybody's time. You are unnecessarily not giving the wrong information. Okay. So the first thing which I suggested to you is that look at the things from the point of view of the CEO or any senior management person whom you are going to talk to. Don't give the details like in detail. Just go by what you think they would be expecting you to talk, and look at the things from their perspective, and ask if you are not very clear about what they're asking, ask the clarifying questions so that you don't waste anybody's time. Be prepared with all kind of cross questions what you can think of. With this, you would be able to sail through. I know. Are you really freaking out that it's too much to do? Okay, I have to say, don't worry about it. You can easily do it. It is just a matter of developing your mindset and doing the footwork properly. Okay, all the best to you. As I keep telling you guys, that if you just follow these nuances and apply them properly, your career growth is as certain as rising of the morning sun. Okay, take care, everybody. And if you like this video, that will be an indication to me that this content makes sense to you, and I will keep generating more of it. Okay, subscribe to the channel if already not done so. Thank you so much, everybody. See you soon. Take care.